I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Any players that's here now, put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. Listen, there are going to be some challenges, but with challenges gets opportunity. But here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
And here we go. This team really does make me drink. They really make me drink in excess, right? And I probably shouldn't allow this to happen. I should be weary of this team doing exactly what just happened to us this past weekend. But nevertheless, man, it's this constant roller coaster. It's this constant roller coaster, and it just seems like we're going in circles. It's the same chapter of the same book. It's just Jets lose to the Buffalo Bills this Sunday in embarrassing fashion. And like it's one of those games where like if you watched it, I'm sure most of us did. You just don't you don't know how to like to speak on it because it didn't make any sense. The team we saw in the season opener against the Steelers, who on paper were a team with the better defense coming in, right? Wasn't the same team we saw play the Buffalo Bills, a team where we usually play really hard and go down to the wire. It's competitive. I don't know what to believe when it comes to this team, man. I really don't. And I know a lot of Jets fans feel the same way. It's one of those. It's again. It just seems like we're in this constant state of deja vu, Twilight Zone, like Twilight Zone shit, man. Like we're still doing the same thing yet expecting different results. Like the definition of insanity. We witnessed that against Buffalo. So, welcome to the Hangout. I guess this is going to be more of a therapy session. Man, it's one of those things where I was hoping to get on here and kind of do a little bit of what we did last week, right? We caught the L. I thought we were going to lose that game, right? But I was expecting it to be a game, and it wasn't that. It's going to be a short night for me. I have a very early flight to Oklahoma in the morning for work, for the day job. So I got about 30 minutes to 45 minutes for us to go ahead and chop it up. We're still trying to get to 2,000 subs. Again, we're going to be giving away an autographed Joe Namath jersey to the first 2,000 subscribers of the channel. So all you got to do is jump off of Twitter, jump off of Twitch, jump off of Instagram, jump on YouTube real quick. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, and then boom, you're automatically entered. Again, only the first 2,000 subscribers are going to be eligible to win the autographed Joe Namath jersey. So again, I appreciate you guys, man, for coming into the hangout tonight. I know it's depressing. I know there's not a lot of positive things to talk about, and yet y'all are still here. Another fact about how this fan base is just different, in good or bad times. We still find a way to get our fill of Jets content. Vero Beats, what's up? You're always here. You're always ready to go. Appreciate your support, brother. Big Will, appreciate you, man. Welcome. My guys. What's up, Porto? Bro, I haven't spoken to you in a while, dog. How you been, man? Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you in the chat. What's up, Kel? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for joining us in the Hangar Hangout. This is going to be the therapy session, the therapy event, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, man, listen, it's frustrating week, right? We just watched the New York Jets get abolished by the Buffalo Bills at home. We saw the defense not really be the defense. The offense didn't even exist. Like, we couldn't run the ball, we couldn't pass the ball, we couldn't move the ball whatsoever on offense. Justin Fields puts us in a situation where we're starting to wonder, man, is this going to be the season, right? Is this going to be a season of the inconsistency that Justin Fields brings to the table, right? The guy that can give you that home run ability, but struggles to also get on base. So for me, man, I think it's frustrating. It's frustrating and it's telling. And at the end of the day, what do we do? Like, how, can this be fixed? Can the New York Jets find a way to go ahead and flip this thing, and just look like a team we can be proud of? Now, I say that because we all know that, you know what I'm saying, our beloved coach, Aaron Glenn, was vocal in regards to what a successful season would look like for him as the head coach. In his words, and I quote, a season in which the fans were proud of the team. We're starting off in the wrong direction here. We really are. What's up, Tigo? I see you in the chat. If I had more time today, I'd be bringing you on for us to debate this, but I don't got time today. I only got about 30 minutes. I got an early flight to Oklahoma in the morning. Yeah, I see a bunch of my Plunder Squad guys are apparently watching the show. Right? What's up, Wang? What's up, Matt? What's up, Mason? What's up, G? Listen, y'all know the deal. It's Tuesday night. I got to do the Hangar HangOut. TJ's baseball practice ended, and I got here just in time for me to kick this off. So it's Tuesday night. I don't know why we acting surprised that I'm not on the game right now. Freaking killing with you guys. But yeah, I digress. This weekend, I think we got more questions than answers, right? I don't know if you look at the way this game played out and you feel confident that this regime is going to be able to change things. Now, I want to believe, like I want to believe the optimistic side of me as a Jets fan, that what happened on Sunday was more anomaly, more of the fact that you were going up against the Buffalo Bills. Maybe there was more excitement on our part that we might have had the answer for those guys. And Josh Allen is a freaking alien, and he does things that most quarterbacks can't do. I want to go ahead and go that route, right? And believe that the team that we played was the biggest factor as to why we played the way we did. But we're talking about some of the very similar mistakes we've seen in times past. Michael Clemens, being the idiot that he is, continuing to give momentum back to the opponent. He's a terrorist. Michael Clemens is a terrorist equal to that of a Gibson. He's been a liability for a while now, and he continues to terrorize the fan base by making just the dumbest mistakes at the most inopportune times. And it never seems to fail. Now, granted, people are going to say, oh, man, Josh Allen did some acting. Well, of course he did. He's a quarterback. They all know how to flop. They understand how the rules of the game is played. But he should have never gotten that close. Clemens should have never gotten that close to put himself in that situation in that 3rd and long to go ahead and cost his team, you know what I'm saying, a great opportunity to get off the field and get possibly some good field positioning. But he did it anyway. Because why? Because it's freaking Clemens. That's what Clemens does. He's been doing this for, I mean, since he's gotten here. The guy has been a constant liability. I remember, we showed him some love from some of the special teams plays that we've seen from this guy and some of the hustle in terms of defensive. I get that early on. But here we are, year 4 for this guy, and he's still doing a lot of the same dumb shit he used to do year 1. There's no growth, right, in terms of who he is as a player. Infuriating. Justin Fields gets hurt. So we're down freaking 30-3 in the 4th quarter. And our coach thinks it's just wise when the offense is not moving the ball, we're not even gaining any kind of traction, to just throw our freaking quarterback back out there, right? Just throw him out there anyway. He's getting hit. He's not seeing the field. Justin Fields looked like the Justin Fields we've had question marks about. The Justin Fields that doesn't really see the field. His processing is slow. He's not making the decision quickly enough. And when he does make a decision, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? He's got that long freaking release. So given ample time for defenders to get it. He did not look like the guy we saw last Sunday where he was decisive. He was accurate. He was on time, and he looked confident. He did not look like that dude at all coming out on Sunday. And that's disheartening when you're talking about matching up against a AFC like East rival, right? Like this is in our division. Again, a team that we've seen with Salah at the helm play these guys like to the end. Like they've been some games up until this point. I think freaking Josh Allen was 1-3 at MetLife Stadium, so that was in your favor as well. Now he's 2-4, right? The whole game plan didn't make much sense to me, man. The way it turned out didn't make much sense to me. And now Justin Fields is hurt, and we're going up against Tampa Bay, a team, a playoff caliber team. Baker Mayfield looks like he's playing, really good football. Like I was really hoping that Justin Fields was going to be our Baker Mayfield, our Sam Darnold, our Geno Smith. And I'm not saying I've stopped believing in that. I do believe we have to give some leeway to the fact that it's still game 2. It's a new offense, it's a new defense. But you also have to look at it and wonder if you've got the personnel to go ahead and run this new offense and run this new defense. We've been screaming from the rooftops, that we need a wide receiver 2 in this building. Once they take away freaking Garrett Wilson, it just kind of seems like there's nobody else you can consistently go to and feel confident that's going to be able to go ahead and catch the ball. But now you got freaking Tyrod coming out this week. And I think Big Will had a question about that. I think it's a good question. Big Will states, it looks like Taylor will start. If Taylor has a good game, do you feel that it will go with the hot hand and he starts in the Miami game? I actually think yes. I do. When freaking the news came out about Justin Fields being injured, concussion protocol, we all know how finicky that is. That can be a week, that can be 2 weeks, you never know. But it can also be reason or cause for this coaching staff to kind of like push along the process as much as necessary, especially if Tyrod Taylor goes out there on Sunday and we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their house. This game is going to be telling. It's going to let us know just how effective the Tanner Engstrom offense can be. Again, was this game a fluke, right? You're going up against the AFC favorites to make the Super Bowl this year in the Buffalo Bills. It's them and the Ravens, 1A and 1B in terms of the favorites to make the Super Bowl. This is a team that's got continuity. They've had the same coaching. They've had the superstar quarterback. Maybe that was the fault, right? Maybe that was the issue. And I think Kel says it perfectly here. Clemens gave that early momentum to the Bills. Once that happened, man, it was a wrap. Once you got them that first down from the 3rd and 19, they were feeling themselves and they were gone. You couldn't catch up. It was a wrap. But the team was poorly prepared. They weren't properly prepared. They didn't show up the way they showed up in week 1. It's almost as if, like, I guess when you have a whole summer to prepare for a team, they're ready for it. But in a week's time frame to come up with the game plan, they looked lost. And that's concerning. That's extremely concerning. Is this going to be a learning curve with Aaron Glenn, which we got to remember, first-year head coach, right? These are all parts of the growing pains that you should expect from your team when you've got a new offense, new coaching staff from top to bottom, new defense being implemented, right? Trying to go ahead and get all the pieces to mesh together to run your system when these guys were originally drafted to run a completely different system. I keep telling myself that as bad as it was on Sunday, that there's still a lot to be excited about because of what we saw last Sunday. The Tanner Engstrom offense, even this past weekend, it looked like a lot of guys were getting open looks. The right read wasn't being hit by the quarterback. I get that. In garbage time, you saw Tyrod Taylor take the team down and score a touchdown because I think he's more savvy in terms of trusting what he sees, having that football IQ. Vero says, I think this isn't a bad thing, though. The game was truly a punch in the mouth for the team staff. What better way to evaluate the staff and team than to see how they respond to being embarrassed? That is a positive way to look at it. That's like the glass half full way to look at it. This team got punched in the mouth. I mean, they got rocked. They got their jaw rocked. It was bad. And you kind of saw Aaron Glenn getting up on, doing his post game press conference. He looked humbled. He looked humbled. He looked like a guy that had to really think about his responses. He didn't come as assertive as he's been coming the last couple of press conferences. The guy was, I saw somebody say perfectly, I want to say it was Eagle Fang that said, you can't come out there with the brashness of a Bill Parcells when you haven't done Bill Parcells things, because you're starting to see, in a sense, that whole brash, like, domineering persona that he came out there with early on over the summer and in the first couple of preseason games, and then of course now into game two, getting that punch in the mouth, it looked like it humbled him. It looked like it humbled him because in that presser, he did not come off as brash. He came off as soft spoken. He looked humbled, like this was a guy that was pretty much licking his wounds, and that might have to be where he's at right now until he otherwise finds a reason or a way to be able to talk that shit and play that shit, which he didn't prove this last week that he can do that. So yeah, it could be an eye opener. It could also be the thing that derails an entire season because you don't know how the team's going to react, how this coaching staff's going to react. It just leaves us with more questions than answers, and that's the frustrating part. The not knowing, right? Like, one more game like that, and we may see Glenn sneak into the medical team that throw on a uniform and helmet. I don't know about that. I don't know if Glenn still got it like that, but the way he talks, man, he probably would want to go ahead and kind of put his own mark on it and figure out how he can get more involved with the entirety of the game plan. I gotta say this though, man, the defense has not been impressive in 2 weeks of play. Defensive line has showed up, you know what I'm saying, but it has not been impressive. I feel like for an Aaron Glenn defense and a Steve Wilkes defense, I was expecting more. I was expecting that to not really take as long to kind of get going, whereas the offense, we of course knew was going to take a little while. The defense has started off slow. The offense is hot, cold, right? So, like, there's concerns there because the Jets have been known to be a domineering defense. You've got key components on the defense side of the football that are domineering players. I was looking at the game again, man, and Jamie and Sherwood, man, I'm starting to have questions about Sherwood now because he's looked bad in back-to-back games. I thought maybe game one was the jitters, you know what I'm saying? New defense being implemented, new responsibility. He's getting into his own. But then you go into game two where he knows this team, right? He's been here for longer. He knows the Bills. He just looked abysmal, man. So now I'm wondering if Sherwood might have been a mistake in terms of the contract extension that he got, right? Like, again, it's week two. And it sucks to even be in this realm where we're talking about this kind of stuff. But it is concerning when you see the team play like that and not have any answers. Not only not having the answers, in the first half of football, but then you came back out in the second half and had even less answers. Like, and that to me is where you've got to look at where they make the adjustments. Was the stage too big for AG at that point, going up against a contender like the Bills? I want to say no, but it seemed like it was. And what is Steve Wilkes doing? This is the guy who's been a head coach before in the league, who's operated some top-notch defenses. I just feel the defense just seems, I don't know, there's no identity there. There really isn't. I thought week one, identity was going to be, man, we can stop the run, and Sauce can erase any wide receiver, right? Everything else we got to figure out. And then this week, they ran all over us, and Sauce, you know what I'm saying, made some mistakes as well. We looked human, right? Like, we got rocked in. Again, man, this is a game we were kind of hoping to go into to kind of gauge where we stand when it comes to, like, being a playoff caliber team. And we just went up against the, playoff caliber team, the Super Bowl favorites, man. And it looks like we are on two different planets. Like, we're not even remotely in the same stratosphere as these guys. Tigo, fun fact. This was Josh Allen's first game against the New York Jets that he did not throw an INT or fumbled the ball. Damn, I did not know that. That is a sad fact. Wow, really? The first game ever? Wow. Yeah. And I think this is why this is such a frustrating evaluation for that game, right? Because we've seen this team play this team. We've seen the Jets play the Bills, like, especially at home, like, tough. like from beginning to end, just tough. They've hung around in there. We've made them work for every yard. And that wasn't the case this past weekend. And I didn't feel like they had to work for much. I felt like they were doing what they wanted at will, which is, of course, beyond frustrating, but that was the reality of it all. I did not know that, Tigo. That is a sad fact, but if that's a fact, that's a fact. Man. You're right, Kel. The good news is it's early. By midseason, we'll know a lot more about this team. And if we're being honest with ourselves, you got to give this team at least freaking 8 games, right? You got to give them at least 6 more games to kind of get an idea of what the identity of this team is. You saw Aaron Glenn talk about how the Buffalo Bills beat us at our brand of football, which again, we don't know what the brand is yet. But I'll tell you what, it wasn't a pretty brand. It wasn't a nice one. It wasn't a good brand. Seeing how we got knocked out, if he's saying that he wants us to wind up being what the freaking Buffalo Bills are, then of course I think nobody's going to argue. Yeah, we would love to be what the Buffalo Bills are, right? Like they're a top 3 team in the NFL. Josh Allen, I believe, is the best player in the NFL. The guy's an alien. He elevates players around him. I don't really think the Buffalo Bills have a star-studded roster. They don't. We were all talking when they traded Stephon Diggs, how, oh man, here comes the downfall of freaking Josh Allen. A lot of people were on that thought process that with him gone, his output was going to take a dive. The kid got better. He elevated a bunch of no names into freaking, NFL quality starters. And that's what those elite guys do, right? That's what those big dogs do, those aliens. They can elevate players around them and make them better. And that's Josh Allen, man. Like, some people will say, well, I think Lamar Jackson's the best guy. Or Patrick Mahomes is the best guy. You look at those guys, man, and they've always had like a superstar at one position or another, right? Lamar's had Mark Andrews. You've had freaking Patrick Mahomes with freaking Travis Kelce. I mean, Josh Allen's had Stephon Diggs as his superstar talent, but he didn't have him last year, and he won the MVP. like the dude has elevated a bunch of guys, just a bunch of guys, to like quality NFL starters, and they're winning games because of it. Josh Allen is different, man. I think he's the best player in the NFL, and it sucks because now he's in our division and we gotta deal with him twice a year. Man, what's up, Sean? How you doing, man? Infrared, I see you in there, brother. How you doing? Man, it's a little therapy session, man. We've got a short hangout tonight. I gotta be on the plane early in the morning to Oklahoma, but this game was just demoralizing because. And then I played myself and watched it again. Like somehow it was gonna go ahead and get better. It didn't. It was just as painful watching it the second time as it was the first time. I just don't know, man. If I felt better about this team and the direction and the coaching and everything week 1. I think we all did. But I think after this week, it's leaving us with so many questions. And you're hoping that this was just a bad game. That does happen. This is the NFL. These guys are going up against, the cream of the crop when it comes to, football players, competition. So this is going to happen every now and again. It wasn't that we lost the game. I want to make sure I'm clear about that. I didn't think that the Jets were going to beat the Buffalo Bills. I thought we were going to have a competitive game. It was going to be a 1-score game, and they'd wind up winning the game because, of course, they got that guy in Josh Allen. I think once he put on the Superman cape, he was going to do Superman things, and you can't really stop that. It was how we lost the game. No effort. I'm not saying no effort. It seemed like the guys were trying, which I think makes it worse because they were trying and the game plan wasn't obviously working. But what they were giving everything that they had, and it just wasn't. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. It was still a moot point, and these guys were giving it everything that they had. Right, the old college try, and it wasn't working. And in the first half, I don't even think, I'm not mistaken, I don't even think Josh Allen had 100 yards passing. I think he was like 8 for something, like 16, something like that. 80 something yards passing. It looked like at least in the passing game we had them contained, but they were killing us with their legs, man. James Cook ran all over us. That was embarrassing. But let's hope it's a bad game. So where does that leave us? Well, hopefully we get another good week of practice, right? Another good week of practice coming in. And we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. The Jets are going to be going in back-to-back games now where they're going to be away from home. Tampa, and then I want to say it's Miami after that. So the next 2 games is Tampa and Miami. And I'm telling you, man, like that's the Miami game I feel better about. I think watching Miami play the last couple of games, I don't know what's going on over there, but there seems to just be a crumbling within the organization. And I love to see it, right? I mean, let's be honest, they're AFC East rivals. I want to see all those guys do horrible. We have to play them in a couple of weeks. And I would love actually for the opportunity for us to go to Miami and beat the Dolphins in their house and just be done with that whole like, oh, y'all have never beaten freaking Tua. He's only played like 4 games against us, you know what I'm saying, the whole time he's been there. But, you know, those Dolphins fans love to say like, y'all can't beat Tua. He owns y'all. Well, an opportunity to actually play him would go a long way. I would love for that to be our truth, that we get to beat the Dolphins, you know what I'm saying, in the next couple of weeks. Because I'm being honest with you, I don't know if we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know if we do. I don't know if I can sit here and say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a team that we can actually beat. Again, playoff caliber team. These guys are looking to make some noise in the NFC. You gotta love what Baker Mayfield's been able to do. Mike Evans is a freaking savage. He's been savage for years now and just continues to just seem to defy the odds in terms of age. This game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to be a tough one. I'll tell you this, man. I never thought in a million years I'd be looking at freaking Todd Bowles, and I'm wondering if we have the coaching advantage going into a game. And we're going into this game against another defensive-minded coach. They've got some components right there on offense that you've got to be mindful of, especially Baker Mayfield, who's not afraid to go ahead and tuck it and run. He's definitely way more mobile than Aaron Rodgers, so he can throw the ball. He can go ahead and run the ball as well. How healthy we are is going to be a key component. I know they just lost, I think it's Chancey, their edge. I think he's out apparently for the next couple of weeks. So that's one less guy getting after Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields. So I think it's going to be Tyrod. I think the Jets need to go ahead and they at least got to show something on Sunday, right? I don't think you can go into this game, lose the game, and it be anything like we just saw this past Sunday. I think the Jets are going to start seeing the side of this fan base, man, that they haven't seen in a very long time because we're sick and tired of it. And I know it's not fair. It's not fair to the current regime. I know you hear Aaron Glenn utilizing freaking the instant coffee quote thing that you've heard Saleh use in times past, which, again, don't do that. Don't bring any of that Saleh stuff to us. But he used the instant coffee aspect of it. But for us, it's not the instant coffee aspect. It kind of agitated me because he said that as if we as Jets fans have not been waiting for 15 years for this team to be relevant again. This ain't instant coffee for us, man. This is the slowest of slow brews. This has been brewing forever. And at this point, we're ready to take a sip. And we still can't. Like, that press conference to me agitated me, especially when you tell the fan base that your measurement of success for this season is going to be how we as fans look at this team and if we can be proud of the product you put out there. And then you go and you say that, oh, in this era of instant coffee, you know what I'm saying, everybody wants immediate results and blah, blah. Shut the hell up. You are the one that stated that the measurement of success for this year is going to be us, the fans. His words, not ours. We didn't put those words in his mouth. Aaron Glenn said we were going to be the measurement of success for this season. And for him to then counter that because he showed his ass on Sunday and didn't show up, oh, instant coffee. No, this isn't instant coffee, bro. We've been here. We've been waiting for this team to be relevant for years. So this isn't instant for us. This has been the slowest of slow brews, and we are ready to start drinking some of this coffee. And we're starting to feel like it doesn't matter what we do. Like at this point, it's hard to fathom a scenario in which we can go through the same shit we've been going through over the last couple of coaching regimes with a guy like AG, who's coming from the Detroit Lions, and we're hoping is going to be the dude, right? With the ability for us to maintain belief and optimism is going to be significantly drained. I want my damn coffee. I've been waiting for this coffee for a long time. I was promised this coffee. The longer it brews, the better it's going to be. It's going to taste great. I've been waiting for 10 years. 10 years for me to go ahead and get this coffee. I'm sorry, 15 years. 15 years to get this coffee. And for him to say this instant coffee thought, and that agitated me to the core. Like, it pissed me off. And like, mind you, I don't think Jets fans expected to win this game on Sunday. I don't think any of us thought like, yeah, we're gonna beat the bricks off of the Buffalo Bills. I wasn't expecting that. I wanted a game. I wanted a game. I wanted you to show us that we could stand on the field with these guys. And even though we might catch that L because they just got that it factor at quarterback, we at least showed up. We didn't show up. That final score of 30-10, joke. It was 30-3. All right, that garbage time TD doesn't count to me. I was 30-3. We did not show up. We got to start seeing this team show up, man. We really do. I don't think it's fair to the fan base. Again, man, this is the team that's one of the richest franchises in all of sports, right? I think it's the top 5 in terms of wealthiest in all of sports. I think top 3 in football. That's because of us. It's because of the fan base. Even though they haven't given us anything to really be proud of as of late, we still show support. We still love this team. We still put our hearts and souls into this team. We put our money into this team to support it. We're well overdue to see a return on our investment. Well overdue. Not many individuals invest into anything and then still see nothing back from it 15 years later. Jets fans have done that. We've been putting money into that freaking bank, just trying to go ahead and get some credit back out, and we haven't gotten that yet. And I think we're overdue. So the whole like instant coffee thing, man, when he said that, agitated me to my soul because nah, dog, it hasn't been a couple of months for us. It's been 15 years. This coffee's been brewing. We're not even asking you to come in here and just win games. We're just trying to have you come over here and show competence at on the football field. Just show us a competent product in the football field. And for him to go from we're going to be the measurement of success to we're expecting too much in like 2 weeks, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I see you guys are talking, man. There's no way. Yeah, and listen, there's no way we beat the Bucks. I'm never going to say there's no way, right? Because right now in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts are 2-0, and the Kansas City Chiefs are 0-2. So you're not going to get me to believe there's no way you can't beat any team in this league. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that. The Colts are 2-0, and the Chiefs are 0-2. Let that sink in for a second. I think you can beat the Tampa Bay. I think you can beat any team on the remaining on our schedule. I think the 2 toughest teams that I had were the first 2 games we just came out of: Steelers and then Bills. And then the Bills will probably beat us again, at the end of the year unless they sit their starters. But every other team that you look at, I'm not really looking at them and thinking to myself, man, these guys have superstars. There's no other alien in like a Josh Allen on any other team we play against this year. There's no other freaking veteran with so much data in his brain because he's seen it all, like Aaron Rodgers for the remainder of the season, that we're going to look at and think to myself, man, they can beat us with their brain. Like, every game I think moving forward is winnable. I don't think we're going to win all of them, but like, it's winnable. How we lost that game was unacceptable. I don't know if Justin Fields got rattled early. I don't know if Justin Fields just lied to us from week 1 and what we're seeing now is the real him. But again, I feel like Justin Fields has, I've been saying this, he's gotten better every single year in the league in terms of his ability to pass the ball. I want to say week 1 was more of the product we're going to see more of this year in Justin Fields. But now we're sitting here wondering to ourselves, do we risk it? Do we risk Justin Fields in back-to-back years? Do we not go for our quarterback next year if we have the opportunity to? Like, these are the kind of conversations we have to start having, because inconsistency at the quarterback position is not going to allow you to win many games in the NFL, especially not the games that matter. You're not going to win in the playoffs. I don't want to go to the playoffs and just freaking get our asses beat just to say we got there. Like, I don't want that. I want to go to the playoffs and actually have a chance to win in the playoffs. Can Justin Fields be that dude for us? I guess time will tell. Well, first and foremost, he's got to be able to stay healthy. So he's already hurt 2 weeks into the season. We always knew. I don't think he's ever had a healthy season in the NFL. I guess last year was his healthiest, but he didn't start the whole year. So there's question marks about that, man. If we play like we did week 1, we can win. If we look like we did against the Bills, we lose all of our games, period. And that's fair. I think if you look at week 1 and we see 85 to 90% of that throughout the season, we're winning a lot more games than we lose. But if we're playing at the level that we played the Buffalo Bills, man, we're about to be looking at a top tier pick in the NFL draft come this spring. So I don't know if I want to deal with that. Man, I don't know. Unless Rucker and Smith ball, there's no way Garrett and Hall can win this game for us. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Tigo, I don't know about the fans' anticipated bad reaction. That's unfair. He's the one who sold us the dream. He said he's here to win games, so go and do it. We've been waiting. Don't talk shit if you can't back it up. 1,000%. Now, 1,000%, Tigo. And I think that's why his comments pissed me off more. Like, you got your teeth kicked in. I get it. You own that. That's on you. That's not on us. You sold us a bill of goods that you were coming here to be the change of culture, that you were going to grade the season on how we felt as Jets fans, like how we felt if we were looking at a product that we could be proud of. Then you get mad at us because we weren't because now we're questioning like what game 2 looked like. Now all of a sudden we're expecting too much. It's instant coffee fan base. Get the hell out of here, man. You put those expectations out there, which is why we're trying to hold him up to it. So, I'm with you, Tigo, on that one. Cal, I was not offended by the AG instant coffee statement. It usually takes a new regime 2 to 3 years to start winning. Buffalo went through the same process. It's no fun, but this is usually the case. Now, I get that. I get that, Cal. And again, like if he didn't tell us that the way he's going to measure success of this season is how we feel, if we're proud as a fan base of this team, I'm with you. I know this is going to take a little while. I mean, hell, from 2000 to 2017, man, the Buffalo Bills were atrocious. 17 years of being atrocious. And then now they've coming into their own, right? We're at the 15-year mark. We're hoping we can go ahead and start seeing those changes. I'm hoping AG's the guy. But he was the one that told us that the way the measurement of the season's success is going to be how we feel. Don't be upset how we feel. Don't tell us how we feel then is too quick. Or it's instant when you're telling us that you're gauging your success as the coach on how we feel. How we felt on Sunday was you weren't prepared. How we felt was this was the same old Jets. We've seen this kind of play style over the last several years over and over again. So I think him trying to go ahead and go from 2 weeks ago telling us it's on us to how he feels about the success of the season to now, we're instant reaction, instant expectations. That's where I got agitated, was with that particular comment. All right, Vero Beach, what's up, brother? Appreciate you, man, for being a 13-month member of Gunny's Fire Team, dog, man. You're a real one, bro. Gunny's Fire Team message 18-2 MetLife Miracle season. Hey, man, in the words of Jake Asman, man, from your lips to God's ears, dog. If we're able to go, that's Super Bowl. You're saying that's Super Bowl. We lose 2 games, we go undefeated the rest of the year, and then we win the Super Bowl. MetLife Miracle season, I would get a Jets tattoo. Like, if that happened, I'm getting a Jets tattoo on my back. Like, I'd have to. Because that would be ridiculous. If the New York Jets went 18-2 from here on out to win the Super Bowl. But man, again, from your lips to God's ears, I would love that to be the case. All right. I'm gonna go to a couple more comments, man. Then I gotta jump off and go prep for my early flight tomorrow. I'm headed out to Oklahoma. Again, it's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream tonight, shorter hangout. Tigo, no offense, Gunny, but Justin was never a realistic option beyond year one. If you thought that you were drinking the Kool-Aid, the plan was to try and win games in spite of Justin, not because of him. And listen, man, look, I don't think any quarterback in that draft class panned out, if we're being honest. Trevor Lawrence hasn't panned out. Nobody's panned out in that draft class. Justin Fields coming out of that draft class was, in my opinion, the second best quarterback in that class. He brings to you an elite trait to the table with his athleticism. He's the most athletic quarterback in the entire draft class. He's a quarterback that's only been, I think he's third right now in rushing accomplishments as a quarterback up to this point in his career, behind guys like Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a guy, and Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson, then Justin Fields. So he brings you that ability. He's a good kid. You know what I'm saying? He's coachable. I think he had kind of a rough start with the Bears, if we're being honest, right? And then the whole thing happened with the Steelers. So I just think he hasn't been given the actual opportunity to get, because if people were saying the same thing about Sam Darnold, same thing about Geno Smith, both of those guys are doing pretty well right now for the franchises that they're playing for. So I think that's why, for me, I'm more optimistic about him, because he's taken those steps every single year to be better as a passer, and he already brings that freakish athletic ability. If Justin Fields winds up being the guy, I'm not going to be mad at it. He's exciting to play when he's actually playing on all cylinders. But if he ain't the guy, I don't want to hesitate either. I want us to go ahead and grab a guy in the draft next year, because this regime is going to they're going to get their shot at their quarterback, obviously. So if Justin Fields isn't him, then it's going to be a really deep class this next draft. We need to find a guy. And if that means you want to go ahead and trade some assets to move up and go get your guy, then so be it. Because I think if you don't have the quarterback in this league, man, it doesn't matter. I mean, look at all the stars we have, the Sauce Gardners, the Quinnen Williams, the Garrett Wilsons, the Brees Halls. Doesn't matter if you don't have the quarterback. Look at freaking Josh Allen. It's him and a bunch of guys, right? And they're the favorites to go ahead and be the AFC representatives for the Super Bowl, when you've got the Ravens across the way that are stacked in terms of talent, and they're tied with them for the favorites. So I agree with you, man. I was optimistic, but I wasn't like betting the house on Justin Fields finally putting it all together. And I'm still kind of optimistic because I saw that he can do it in week one. Can he put it all together coming into this season will be key. But now I'm with you, man. If he ain't him, we'll know by midseason. And we'll start talking about which quarterback we're going to draft. Infrared, brother. Great point. I got to see it, believe it, though. That's true. Until we see the wins, it's going to be hard for us to believe. It's been difficult as a fan base. Big Will, why do you think Pittsburgh bench Fields for Wilson when he was 4-2? Honestly, man, I think that had a lot to do with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin wanted to go with a veteran presence who has shown more consistency in the past. Justin Fields did what was asked of him in the short time he was a starter there. I mean, he had a 5-to-1 TD to interception ratio. They weren't getting the big play like I think they wanted to get some more of those explosives in terms of through the air. But honestly, I really think that was more so along the lines of they brought in the veteran Russell Wilson, and they wanted to go with Russ. But if you talk to a lot of the players were wondering why not Justin Fields. A lot of players for the Steelers were wondering why didn't they stick with Justin Fields, or what would have been if they had Justin Fields on the back end to win a couple more games. I think Russell Wilson went 6-5 for them. So only Mike Tomlin knows, bro. Either way, it didn't work out, and now they're trying the Aaron Rodgers experiment, which we all know that might not work out either. But I think there's some desperation right now in the Mike Tomlin regime to see some postseason success. So they're I guess they're throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. If that makes any sense. Jordan with, this was supposed to be a reload, not a rebuild. Coach Glenn needs to get this back on track this Sunday and going forward. I agree, man. I didn't think this team was in full rebuild mode. I felt like there were some tweaks you needed to make here and there. A couple of components, a couple of pieces can really add value. But I didn't feel like this team was in full rebuild mode. So I'm with you when you say like this was supposed to be a little retooling, a little reloading, but Glenn needs to go ahead and show us he can actually coach, right? He's calling himself a coach. This is what he does. You need to show us you can coach the talent that you have and start showing us some success, because you're not far off from going into full rebuild mode. Have to sell something. I didn't fall for the sales pitch. I mean, I fell for it then. I did. Because it's AG. He's a guy that I feel like tells you what he's really thinking. He's not one of those guys that's going to go ahead and dance around and you know what I'm saying, like play, like showcase some things. I feel like he's going to be very direct. So because he said it, I felt like, but now Dan Campbell said the whole biting the freaking kneecaps thing, and we thought it was weird, but his team is violent. His teams played like they wanted to go ahead and bite people's kneecaps off. They played like such since he became the coach there. So there was some truth to that statement, minus the actual definitive biting. To Sean, what's up, brother? Kel, appreciate you guys. All right, Vero, appreciate you all. Thank you very much for hanging out at the hangar. I gotta go ahead and do some packing and get ready for bed so I can get up early and not miss that flight. Yeah, man, I don't know. I think in a nutshell, what we saw on Sunday was very disheartening. And we're going to need this team to figure it out and figure it out fast. And I'm not saying the Jets have to go and win every single game moving forward, but you can't look like that. You can't look like you don't belong on the field. You can't look like you're completely oblivious to what the game of football is supposed to look like. Get it cleaned up. These penalties are becoming annoying already. We're already on track to being top 3, if I saw that stat right. Top 3 most penalized team in the league at this current rate. We need to get that cleaned up right away. You know what I'm saying? Whatever Glenn was doing, it's obviously not working. Figure it out. The fan base deserves better, man. We do. At this point, we have not seen a single return on our investment as a fan base, and it's just becoming demoralizing. Nevertheless, it's week 2. New regime, new system in place for offense and defense. Let's see what happens, man, when they put it all together. Because again, it is week 2, and that was the Buffalo Bills that we just that just kicked our teeth in. So that's something. There's something to that we got to be real about. That said, I appreciate you guys for hanging out at the hangar tonight, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe again. If you're watching on Twitch, you're watching on Instagram, you're watching on TikTok, you're watching on Twitter, jump on YouTube real quick. Subscribe to the channel. Like a video. Get yourself automatically entered to win the autographed Joe Namath jersey. He's going to be one of the first 2,000 subscribers who winds up getting it. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully next Tuesday we're talking about some happier things, vice the stat stuff. But yeah, that's that. As always, go Jets. And I'll talk to you guys at halftime.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you won a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you won a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Any players that's here now, put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. Listen, there are going to be some challenges, but with challenges becomes opportunity, gets opportunity. But here's what I do know.